All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of America's Hometown Horror Podcast. My name is Andrew. I know it's shocking, it's not Mike, and I will be your host tonight. So welcome in for a nice jam-packed episode. Let me just get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way real quick. As far as social media goes, you can find us at ahpod.com. That's ahhpod.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Hometown Horror, or on Instagram at Hometown Horror Pod. You can even send us an email if you like. Not many people do, but why not be the first? At hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail. And then also, I just want to let you guys know too, as you probably do know, if you've been listening to us for a while, that we are now partnering with horrorfacts.com. They're a great resource for news, reviews, and podcasts such as ours. We are also partnering with Fangoria. Everyone knows who Fangoria is. They're the first name in fright since 1979. And if you go to shop.fangoria.com/hometownhorrorpod and you enter in the promo code Hometown Horror Pod, you will get a discount. So go pick yourself up some merchandise there. And how we doing, everybody?
Doing well, buddy. How are you?
Great. How are you doing, Hannah?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. Yeah, so Hannah's back. She's going to be a little guest cast member this week for us. She was last on when we did Hellraiser, the original movie. So she's come on, and I think you can guess what movie we're going to be at. Hannah's also from the Old Colony cast. How's everything going over there, Hannah? Exciting news for us?
Pretty good. We just did another paranormal investigation episode.
I saw that.
Burial Hill. Yep, that was pretty cool. Not a lot of activity, but that's okay. It's not a bad.
That's always the case, right?
Yeah. So that was fun though. It's always cool. There's a really awesome full moon rise from Burial Hill. So
that's pretty badass.
Yeah, nice night to go do it for sure.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So I guess we'll get right into it with. You guys seen anything good lately? Watch any movies that you want to talk about?
I feel like I've seen so many.
Yeah.
I had a couple. I
need to go back at my rewatches.
I watched Deadstream on Shudder. I had kind of mixed feelings about it. It's basically about this YouTube influencer guy, and he's like the total stereotypical smash that fucking like button, that kind of guy. It's annoying as the character, but it's also annoying watching it because you're like, this guy fucking sucks. And it basically is him trying to revamp his career because he got into some shit. But he goes into a haunted house for the night and ends up summoning demons. And it's basically an Evil Dead type vibe, I think is what they're trying to pay homage to. But like I said, it's kind of cheesy, it's corny, but once it gets going, it's pretty entertaining. There's some good jump scares, that's for sure. You're kind of just following a GoPro with a flashlight on it, just whipping different corners. So you're just waiting for, at one of these times, something that was exciting.
It's worth watching just to kind of.
Yeah, it was 85 minutes. So it wasn't too bad. I also rewatched the first Terrifier because obviously you saw Terrifier 2. Sick. We'll be talking about that a little later. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are my quick little watches for the week.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
I'm trying to find the ones I've watched because I can't remember any names of anything, and I knew I should have coming into this, honestly, but I don't want to describe the movie and then not know its name. Have you guys seen any? Did you already talk about the new Jeffrey Dahmer series on this?
A little bit.
You can talk about your thoughts on it. We've talked a little bit about it. We haven't done any devoted.
Yeah, no, I mean I liked it. It was it's right up that kid's alley, huh?
Evan Peters.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is made for him. I felt like I'm trying to remember what else I watched. Honestly, if I can't remember, I'm not going to talk about it. Otherwise, I'm just blabbering. I'm no one, and they do this. Yeah, it's not going to make
the guy.
This is a person with a face.
Yeah, I finally watched the Black Phone. You guys
okay. Yeah, we did an episode on that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little behind. I'm catching up on stuff.
What
did you think?
I liked it. Yeah, it was cool. I thought it had a good mix of supernatural and actually real world kind of scaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought it played best with what was going on with the ghosts of the kids coming and giving them and stuff.
Yeah.
And And then it has its. I thought it had its ups and downs for me. There was like I wanted more like hardcore. And it really wasn't that. But I was like, it is kind of it's Joe Hill, Stephen King.
Yeah.
It was a little more tame than I thought it was gonna.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like some people maybe take the safer route of depicting like child
True. Yeah.
abuse
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
capture.
Definitely not a
the
bad
line is
call.
like the line's becoming more clear of recent times. I don't know if it would have been like
Yeah.
that 10 years ago, but
There's definitely a line you don't want to cross in certain instances, I guess.
For
Apparently,
sure.
it was right along the lines of the short story that Joe Hill was pretty much spot on as far as an adaptation. It left a little to be desired on my end, but overall, it wasn't. It's
No.
worthwhile. Yeah, I didn't really watch much. Me and Matt saw Terrifier 2. We're gonna have a fully devoted episode to that at some point. But I did watch Hellraiser 2 Hellbound the other day because I was at Hellraiser train, and I forgot how awesome like Dr. Chenard, when he goes down and he turns into that Cenobite. Oh, he's so creepy. He's like almost my favorite Cenobite.
Yeah.
Even more so than Ben.
He is saying it's Cenobite.
Cenobite. I kept saying Cenobite. You know what happens is I knew I was going to do that because I get it. I'm like mixing xenomorph with.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be
I do that
hardcore.
every time.
Xenomorph
And
Cenobite?
I said it like 8 times before we started the podcast. I'm like, don't say Cenobite.
I think you did it on the last time we talked about Hellraiser too.
Yeah, it's like it's so ingrained in my head that I can't.
All good.
So if that's everything we've all seen, then I guess we can get right into the topic du jour. Done. Hellraiser 2022, directed by David Bruckner. You might know him if you've seen VHS or Southbound. He did a couple segments in those. He also directed The Ritual, which we podcast. This is it's not a remake, a retelling of Hellraiser, which is the main reason I really. But yeah, so we'll get into your thoughts. Hannah, you're the guest. Why don't you start?
Okay. I didn't dislike it by any means. I thought it was a good movie. Kept my interest for the most part. I liked it was different, right? This is like a spoiler show. Like if you haven't.
Oh yeah, you can get into spoilers whenever.
Yeah,
I would recommend.
now.
Right?
Yeah, we'll put that spoiler warning.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting the way they changed the puzzle box to like it like assaults people, which like was not the case in the other one. It was more like mystical before, and this one has like a direct route to like why it changes shape and like I guess giving it a little bit more explanation because it felt less confusing than jumping into the first Hellraiser. Like I felt like it gave a clear explanation of why the puzzle box did what it did and what it led to and all that. Mm-hmm. The only thing I didn't love was that near the end, it felt kind of 13 ghosty. 13 Ghosts, like with the like mansion and how the, mysterious billionaire who goes missing / dies, builds this thing and leaves it and then sets it up so that people go and finish the task to get the Cenobites. But in 13 Ghosts, it's 13 Ghosts, and now it's just Cenobites.
Yeah. And you're also in this like big like house with all these shifting moving.
Yeah. I was like,
I get that.
Right. And then at the end when they're all standing in like the circle and the thing, I was, you know what I mean? Like, hey, he had it set up to.
It seemed like a really roundabout way of getting to the final he was trying to get to.
Yeah.
Like, did you really have to go through all that effort? Like, you're a billionaire. You could have just like people just.
I think he could have just paid people to do it. Like, I don't think he needed to like set up one guy. I think he just could have like, because obviously he was in a lot of pain from being set up by the Cenobites himself. But like, he could have just paid people, and people would have taken like 20. They'd be like, hey, do this puzzle box for $20,000, and I bet he would have gotten 7 people or how it right. It was, you know what I mean? Like
you could definitely find 7 people.
Yeah. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
they'd be like, oh, it's gonna stab me. Big deal. I'll just get that later. And they're like,
right.
They would just think he's some insane billionaire.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. A good take on it. I really appreciated the new Pinhead. Like, I thought they did a good job with all the Cenobites. I thought they were really cool.
Yeah.
Similar but different enough from the ones from the original movie. So.
Yeah, the Chatterer one was still really fucking hardcore. That one was always been like what I think is the scariest one.
Yeah.
And that one's. I was glad that they kind of like. They had to have been like, yeah, that one fucking rocks. Like, keep that guy in there. But I agree,
I liked it. I thought it was worth the time, and I thought it was an interesting like kind of newer take on it. But
Yeah, it was longer than I thought it was gonna. It was a clean 2 hours.
It was.
And I was like an hour into it and maybe a little more. And I was like, all right, what's going on? Like this chick's just kind of fighting with her boyfriend all the time and her brother. So it took a little while to get going.
She was I feel like a little off the handle, but I think that was in her character, right? Because she was a recovering addict, right? So it was like, no, she's allowed to be just completely irrational about this. Like, just
they did a good job of like making some of the characters very unlikable and like giving you you're like, oh wow, I can't wait to torn them by hooks and chains.
Right?
Yeah, that's like that one part where you thought she was gonna stab Trevor with the box when they were like trapped behind the door, and I was like, yeah, stab him,
Yeah, get him.
And then she stabbed the Cenobite, and I was saying Cenobite. And I was like really mad she didn't, because I knew that he had something. I was this guy's gonna.
Yeah, he had the whole. Yeah, he was
that vibe. Like, but yeah, like you said, it did take a while to get going. Like I watched this in 2 pieces because the first hour felt so long to me. I watched it, and then I was like hoping that it was going to really get going, and it did a great job like finishing. Like the last hour of that movie.
Yeah, the third act of it really fucking. Usually it's the opposite. Usually it's like you have a really strong start or like middle act, and then the ending you're like it kind of like loses steam. But this kind of like ramped up into a big crazy ending. I love the whole thing with the guy getting turned into a Cenobite at the end. Like you see this crazy process of like how they all get like mutilated into these things. That was interesting. Definitely setting up for a sequel. But
it reminded me of what you just mentioned, Hellraiser 2, Hellbound. Like when the doctor gets like pulled up into the Leviathan like formation. I was like, you know what I mean?
That's honestly, I feel like Hellbound 2. I think that's the best one on. I think it's
it's my favorite.
Yeah, it's so entertaining because the first one is like when you watch it, like this is kind of confusing. Like what the hell's going on? Like they don't really explain anything. So now that once you have that backstory, you can go into it so much deeper. And it's Dr. Gennard's such a perfect.
I think with the second one, like I agree, that is my favorite one too. But I don't think I can appreciate the second one without the first one. Like if that was its own movie, I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck's like. Lady getting chased through the walls by this worm. Like,
well, they did a good job just like making it seamless. You know what I mean? From the first to the second, it just made it made everything make sense to have. The second
it's movie. Like one whole long movie, pretty much, just tight.
Yeah, you could easily just put those both together and sit in the theater.
This is definitely Hellraiser related, but I need to ask a question. Have you guys ever seen Santa Clarita Diet?
No, I've heard good things about
the TV show.
And on, right?
Yeah. Mike and Kat watched that show. I think they've seen that.
It's canceled. It's cute. It's zombie-ish and whatever. But there's a kid in it named Skylar Gisondo. That might be how Gisondo. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. The main girl who plays like the main character in the new Hellraiser looks identical to this kid.
Oh, really?
And while me and Donnie were watching it, he was like, she looks like that actor that plays that nice boy and everything, because he plays the same character in every movie. He just plays a nice.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
I was like, what do you mean?
Is he in that Righteous Gemstones show?
Yes.
As well? Yeah. Yep. Skylar Gisondo. Yeah. Because they have like the freckly face and everything, like kind of like the Cabbage Patch Kid. Yeah.
And then I could not see it. I was like, oh my God, it's like they put a wig on him and that's who's acting.
Well, that's funny because I was like, as I was watching it, like, who does this chick look like? And I was like looking up her thing. I'm like, she's not. I guess she's in another horror movie as well.
She reminded me of Aaliyah Shawkat. I don't know if you guys know her. From Arrested Development, she plays Maybe.
That's
who I thought it was.
That's who she looked like.
I was like going back and looking to say, I was like, did she just like grow up and like strangely? Like, like I don't know. But yeah, no,
I feel like that was everybody in this movie. I was like looking at them and I'm like, this person looks like, and then none of them were in anything. Like even, well, I guess Voight, Goran Visnich plays him. He was like ER, but I was like, I could have sworn I've seen recent.
He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been in a lot of random things. And I was like kind of shocked to see him. He's always the guy. I don't think he's ever been like the main character. I think he's always just been like a supporting. I feel like he's usually a bad guy, to be honest. If he's
He had a good bad guy vibe.
yeah,
That's
he
definitely,
definitely did. I thought he did a good job as a bad guy.
I will
That-
say
That
go ahead,
yeah,
sorry.
that thing they put in him was very brutal.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
weird. That was very uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like pulling nerves.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god, that looks so painful.
Well,
Yeah.
that brings up a good topic of discussion with this movie, the use of practical effects, because they were pretty. I would say that's the best point. Like that was like the best thing I got out of the whole movie was how well they did the effects.
Yes,
not a lot of CGI. Even when he was like all coming back together, you could tell that they were usual, like looked like some probably rubber, latex, something. But it was like, oh, this is actually pretty solid. I figured I was going to be watching just some like animated, gross, weird looking thing happen, but it was like, oh, it just makes it so much more believable.
Speaking of that, apparently the like to get them into their costumes.
Cenobites.
Cenobites. I do that. I can't.
No, think like
so
Zen.
annoying.
Like
Zen, like be Zen.
No,
Zen.
no Z.
Like centipede.
Yes, like
Cenobite. Centopede. Cenobite. It's so
Yes.
difficult for me, and I have it's so annoying. It's like I just can't. It doesn't matter how many times someone tells me how to say it. But it took like 4+ hours to get them
To say it
an
right.
hour to get them out of costume. I'm just not gonna say. I'm just gonna say the Z-bite, the C-bites.
Yeah.
Cenobites. The demons.
The Cenobites. The Cenobites.
There you go.
I do like
Think
Cenobites.
like Cinnabon
The bad
Yeah,
guys.
Cinnabon.
a little bit. Yeah. I'm not
Bad guys.
disappointed with it at all, but speaking of their costumes, I just thought the nails in Pinhead looked much more polished.
They were
Small,
very pretty.
right?
Well,
And
she
Listening almost.
like
Yeah.
because I think the Hell Priest, apparently in the book, the Hell Priest is genderless and just kind of
Yeah, that makes sense.
just like a present being. One of the things I did notice though with the pins, like because I was just like trying to when I was seeing the Cenobites on the screen, I was just trying to like there's a lot to try and take in. And so one of the things I noticed though was one of them had like pins through like the like metacarpals or the ligaments in their hand, and you could see it like interweaving between them, and I was like, oh my god, dude, like that just looks so painful. Like everything about it looks painful.
Yeah.
But they just ride it out.
They love the pain.
Yeah. But
Still,
yeah,
I was a little disappointed with the gore. Like it wasn't as gory as the other ones. Like it was gory, but I feel like the other like
Yeah, I
it
was
way
expecting
more
to
just, like,
see someone in a
flesh-ripping.
just in a flesh suit at some point, which didn't happen.
yeah,
A little disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm glad they kept the original music throughout it. Though.
they
Yeah.
did.
It
I
was
noticed
really
that
nice.
too.
I was like, that music is so.
It's very
Good job,
like
guys.
it's like very like Tim Burton, like Danny Elfman
Yeah.
ish. You know what I mean? It has that
Yeah.
kind of like curious, like wandering through, like as she's like reading through like all the mythos of like how everything just it kept it going. I was like, oh, nice. I like that they were able to use it.
Yeah, for sure.
What did you guys think about Jamie Clayton and Pinhead? Did you like Doug Bradley better?
It was something different.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. And I think he was Pinhead for like most of the movies, right?
Yeah, I
think,
think there's
yeah.
only like one or two that he wasn't.
You're right. So it's like
There's
you get
like 7 of them. Or,
there's a lot. I
Dude, there's
haven't
like 10.
seen I haven't
Is there-
seen most of them. Like because I just can't imagine that they hold up that well.
Yeah, this is the 11th
like
installment.
11.
But I thought I wanted more time with that character.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't get enough like of
Yeah.
Pinhead. It was very limited. Like in total screen time, 5 minutes maybe. I felt
I know
like,
it felt
if
very.
that. Yeah, there wasn't enough. I feel like there wasn't enough of Cenobites.
I think.
Well, when
got
you
it.
think of the original one, you kind of
job.
don't.
I just said
really-
Cenobite. I said Cenobite.
when you see the original one, like, and you think of how that one all plays out, the real villains are Julia and Frank,
Yep.
and so like they're just like kind of these other people that like kind of show up and start causing mayhem as well. But they're just like, we just want to sacrifice. We don't give a fuck about what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You guys are on your own thing. So
You definitely get more Cenobites in the second one than
Yeah.
in the first one too. So I think like
I wonder if that's what they're setting up to kind of have this huge, So
It might even be too just the practicality of it. Apparently, like I forget the one in the bad guy in the first one. He's like got the sunglasses on and stuff like that. Like he was supposed to be able to talk. Like I think he had lines, but with all the makeup, like he couldn't even speak with it. And the same thing with Jamie Clayton.
oh, the Butterball guy.
Like she said, like she could barely even move in her costume. It was so heavy and like
It looked very.
they're probably like I can be on film like it took 4 hours to get you in costume, and then they're on screen for like 5 minutes. So I'm wondering if they did like all their shots in one take, they save them the agony of being in this costume.
Yeah, I can imagine they ripped through because a lot of that looked like a set. I don't think that was at least some of it had to have been a set.
Well, it was apparently filmed in Belgrade, Serbia. There's that.
I think it's
There's also
the story takes place in Massachusetts.
I think so. Yeah.
I
Where
think
was that?
so.
There was something.
It's Brockton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dude, yeah, that was brought up in
All
like the
right.
beginning of the movie, I thought. Like, or am
Yeah, I
I
was
thinking about
reading-
Hellbound?
Well, at the beginning of it, I think it said it was in Serbia. I had the thing up the other day because I was like, I found an article that was just kind of talking about like review and like how the ending played out. But it said that he was transporting because at the very beginning, I think it said that they're in Serbia.
Yes, and then they
And then
transported it to,
He's sending it to Massachusetts.
and I can't remember what town it was.
No,
It was
I just said
definitely-
Brockton to be fun.
I know. I'm like, what town would it be?
Man.
Lynn.
Yeah. Yeah. They nailed it.
But so if he was in Serbia in the beginning, he was in his mansion, right?
I think like the very, very beginning when it's like that dude
Didn't they
outside
go
talking
back
to the
there,
old
though?
lady.
Yeah, but they go back to the mansion, so
Yeah.
But I think
They're,
the
like, in
mansion
there.
is in Massachusetts. I'll have to find that article.
It has
and
to be
I'll-
Massachusetts. There's no way those drug addicts or whatever were flying over to Serbia to go in some guys.
They
mansion.
definitely
That had
weren't
to
in
be-
Serbia. But even like when I was looking
It
at
was
like
filmed.
just like whenever I'm watching movies and you see cars driving, I always look at the license plates just because I'm curious
Yeah.
if it'll show. And like they just didn't have any. It didn't look like there was like any for like a state name or anything. So
Yeah.
So it's like, are they in Serbia? I was like, shouldn't they like not speak fluent, sarcastic English? Like, I didn't really know what the deal was with that, but that was only in the thing that I read.
There was a little homage to the Candyman.
There was.
Yeah. So apparently, at about 30 minutes into the movie, when Matt is in the bathroom and he's getting cut by the puzzle box, Tony Todd's autograph can be seen as graffiti on the wall behind.
Oh,
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah, I'll have to look out for that.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I might rewatch this. It's always better. I feel like it'll be when I go through my.
I know I'm trying to knock out the rest of them. I
kind of wanted. They're all
Shudder.
Shudder. They're all available, right?
No, I had to rent a couple of. Well, I mean, I had to rent 3. I think I found 4. 4, I think, is Inferno or Bloodline. That one wasn't as bad. Hellraiser 3 was pretty. I wasn't really stoked about it. It was. I felt like I was at work, like having to watch it. Just like I felt like I had like an obligation.
Yeah,
But
nothing.
yeah, Bloodline was Hellraiser 4. That one wasn't too bad. That one actually got a little more like had a better plot. But Hellraiser 3, it's just like they're like I think they're in Vegas, and it's just like kind of getting into like the 90s, so it was like a little weirder and like edgier, and like the music, the soundtrack. It was just like a big episode of Tales from the Crypt. So it was just like, you know what I mean? It just kind of had that like
of blood.
yeah, it just had that like really rough, like trashy kind of vibe.
Nice.
But good gore. So I mean, there's
I
that.
feel like Las Vegas is a perfect setting for a Hellraiser movie, though.
That's what that dude thought too.
Yeah, and then this is where we are. None of us have really seen that movie, so.
Yeah. But there is, like I said, there is 10 of them. So I mean,
Do
It's
they
gonna be
do
a couple
anything
good
crazy like with the Jason movies, or I should say Friday 13 movies, like in space with Hellraiser?
probably. I think so. Like, so let's just go down the name of so number 4 is called Bloodline.
Mhm.
Number 5 is Hellraiser Inferno, Hellraiser Hellseek, Hellraiser Deader, Hellraiser Hellworld. So this one, I guess, is
They
like
get
that's like in
names from each
cyberspace.
other.
Cyberspace.
Hellraiser Revelations. This is the first one with like a new Pinhead. That's played by Stephen Smith Collins. Stephen Smith. And then Hellraiser Judgment is the most recent one from 2018, and that's Paul T. Taylor played Pinhead.
There was
Both of
one
them
that
got
came
pretty
out
bad
in
reviews.
2018.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's the most recent one. But these are all like, I imagine, tie in together with the original story and whatnot.
I would assume so.
3 kind of did, but like not so much. It was, and then 4 kind of.
You guys have like particular scenes that really stood out more so than the others. I know you mentioned like when they show his
Yeah.
Void. Cool. I like this in the van with Nora.
Mm-hmm.
After she gets cut, it's like just longer and longer. It's just,
Yeah.
that was pretty.
I thought that was neat because I wasn't sure like how them driving would impact like them morphing her reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they have to, because why wouldn't
Yeah.
they be able to? But like, what is it gonna appear like to her?
For everybody else, yeah.
Right.
I liked when that whole scene where she kind of like gets got in the first place when she's like fucking around with fuses.
Yeah.
And she like goes in to that. She finds that like secret room, and then she's being like chased by that Cenobite. And you don't really know what it is or like what it looks like, but you can see its shadow, and
Well,
you
it's
can
the
see
guy.
that is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. He's
Oh, it was.
Wait,
Oh,
yeah.
but either way, you just know that it's something and it's fast and like it's running
Yeah.
at her.
I
But
think he
I
was
like
like
that.
dressed up as a Cenobite a little bit though.
That's what I'm saying because
Yeah.
you don't really it's kind of in the shadows, so you don't
Yeah.
really see
Yeah.
what it is. But that scene in particular was good, and then like what you said with her in the car. But I like with the transformation scene, I thought that was awesome. But that being the last scene of the movie, that rocks. Like how many times do you get one of the best visual scenes that you can get in a movie, and it's the last shot before the credits. So I thought that they did a pretty good job with that. It's really just the pacing.
Yeah.
It just was a little slow getting into it, but once it got going, it was really good. It was a fun watch. Like I really enjoyed watching this movie. It's definitely my third favorite Hellraiser movie. Still good. Not a good movie,
Yeah.
but
I agree. This is definitely up with the like I said, I haven't seen all of them, but I can't imagine that they just keep getting better. Like they what I mean? So
Mhm.
I feel like Hellraiser would do pretty well as a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely like a lot to understand about it, and I feel like the first movies don't really except for maybe the second one, it kind of like explains it a little bit more, but like I've always loved that you're just left
You're just kind of dumped into it.
Yeah, you're just like, what's happening?
Yeah, like the first thing that happens is just this guy at this like Chinese shop, and he's just like, "Yep, that's what I want." And the guy's like, "All right, here you go," and then he just starts fucking with it and rips himself apart. And you're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Well, have you guys ever read The Hellbound Heart? Either of you?
No.
Apparently, this is supposed to be the most true to the source material.
Really?
I kind of want to read that now. I don't read anything. I would be into reading them. I have no idea.
I back you on that one. I know.
I don't think it's super long.
If it's like I said, the thing that stood out to me the most was that it like became an assault weapon, like a self.
Yeah. Yeah, with the knives that shoot out of it. I just thought it was cool how it like shifted and how each thing meant like a different.
Yeah, how you could like pick your form based up, but you had to get like 7 kills or whatever.
Yeah.
Essentially, souls to sacrifice, and then I like how they were all L words too, which half those words. I was like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, they're. I think. Well, it's just like that's the thing with like you see these like cosmic horror movies that you have all this wiggle room. You just have to be creative and smart enough to make up this huge universe around your idea, and it has to make sense. But again, with cosmic, it's like making a movie about dreams. You can just kind of do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So they have that creative freedom. So that's why I was like, oh, I'm curious to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You're definitely right, though. There's got to be more in the after that, because I feel like that probably got pretty good reception. Really see any like? I mean, it just came out rating rotten. Did you guys like this? So, have you seen like more horror movies this year, Hannah? I know you said you saw Black release.
I feel like I have, but I literally cannot because I probably like pick one a night, and because I can't commit the names to like what movie is what. Like I know I watched The Wretched the other day. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I have not seen it.
I want to say it's about a town like really, really old, like Lord oversees a village kind of thing, medieval almost. And they get cursed for it would have been in like colonial times actually, because they end up slaughtering a group of Native Americans and they get cursed from them. And then I forget what else happens, but pretty much like people become werewolves and then destroy themselves from within. I believe that's the same movie. That was kind of cool, but my one big thing that I saw is that they were all drinking water, and like people couldn't drink water. I think it was in the 1400s. Like water was not a thing that they could do.
Was this The Cursed?
That's what it was.
Yeah. I saw this. I thought that movie was pretty sick.
I liked it, but like I lost my mind when I saw them drinking water because like the historical accuracy is just so freaking wrong.
Yeah, because that was like a way long time ago. Like people were still like settling like parts of America, I think, right?
Yeah, well, the water wasn't drinkable for like hundreds of years after. Like they didn't figure out like everyone drank wine and beer because water would get them sick.
I didn't know that.
I still live by those rules. So.
Yeah.
I loved again, like the dream sequences in that with the scarecrow and everything.
Yeah. Okay,
really
I'm
good.
glad
I saw
you
that
see.
in theaters. Yeah.
This
It
is
was
why I
cool.
was like, I don't want to mention any names because I'm gonna get it wrong. But I'm glad I brought it up because I thought it was a pretty cool movie.
Yeah,
And
that
like
was The Cursed.
the
That was a good
cheats
one.
and
I
whatever.
still haven't
Yeah.
seen that. I gotta see that.
Oh, it's cool. It's definitely
It's a pretty good take on a werewolf film. The transformation scenes are insane.
Yeah.
Like the way, like you were saying, how they kind of destroy themselves from within. Like they kind of just like are like incubated inside of like the actual person.
That's
But
interesting.
they're like also like all like fucked up and gross. Like
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
They
For
like
sure.
become like tentacleized. It's kind of, there's some good like John Carpenter The Thing love in some of those things, I think. So
Mike would like it. Mike hasn't seen it either yet. I don't think.
yeah,
Or
he did.
He did
Yeah.
see that movie. Yeah, that makes sense. John Carpenter or Worm movie.
There's that.
Did you see
what did
Nope,
you think?
Hannah? Oh,
Nope.
Nope. Did you see Nope?
Yeah.
I did.
You did. What did you think of that?
I loved it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I
I'm
loved
just trying to see where you, based off of the movies you've seen this year, where would you like kind of rank 3, top 5?
For Nope.
No, for
Oh.
Hellraiser. Where would you
Hellraiser?
put that? Yeah.
Oh.
It's tough.
I don't
You gotta think
know.
of a definitive answer.
There's
Did
a
you
lot
see
of stuff that
Prey?
came out.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
That was good too. I thought that
I'd
was a
say
nice.
I liked Prey more than Hellraiser. Sorry, Hellraiser.
I agree.
It's tough. I like Prey better too. I agree.
think Prey just had like you just kept going. You know what I mean? Like the
Mhm.
storyline never really like dragged at any point. It was just like constantly something happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting action.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which I'm like, I couldn't believe, because normally 80s action movies, but then like I was watching that and there was like the little boy in me. It was like, this is fucking sick. Like, like a bear fighting a predator.
Yeah,
So that was cool.
it was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would honestly rank Hellraiser. I don't think it would make top 3, but at the same
That would be tough.
time, I'm not telling people not to see it. Like I would
No.
say, go watch it if you're a fan of that series and like of Hellraiser. Watch it because I don't think it's not worth anyone's time for sure.
Oh, it's definitely worth watching.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think everything like Matt said about like the beats of it, like it picked up towards the end and became like a little bit more like, oh, like, you know what I mean? You're like, what's gonna happen next?
It's worth the wait.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So I think the thing with this is that there's so many good movies that came out this year. So it's kind of hard to go up. And like, especially movies like Nope and movies like X, Barbarian, like stuff like that. So you had all these just like crazy movies that came out.
It's also
kind of a wild year.
Yeah. I feel like it's harder for me because like I'm bringing up that movie, The Cursed, like it's brand new to me, but because of streaming service and stuff, right? Like how long ago did that come out? So I'm like, is that a new movie?
That was out in like January.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Did that come out this year? Like I could be watching a movie that's really old, so I'm like comparing it to things that like didn't come out this year.
Yeah, but I mean, still new to you is new. So
yeah, that's true.
We can all agree it's better than Firestarter, though, right? Like Firestarter.
Never saw it. Did not
do not wait. Don't waste your time.
The movie
was absolutely
bad.
garbage.
No, I could tell just by like the previews, and I was honestly shocked that Zac Efron was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, I think
you're a good actor. What are you doing? Why are you choosing to do this?
Yeah, I think he's in a bad way.
I don't think he's like even that great of an actor. And don't get me wrong, I like Zac Efron. I'm fine admitting that, but I'm like, what? Yeah,
it was a weird role.
Like it looks like he, I don't know, decided to do like a weird Disney Channel movie again or something random. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
well, he also seemed completely disinterested. Yeah, it was terrible. I was like, you just, what are you doing?
Yeah, and that's just based off the previews too. I'm like, I literally haven't seen it, so.
I wonder if you like owed his agent a favor or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely possible.
He could be like the new Nick Cage, right? Like he just he says yes to everything because he's like has a spending problem and is in debt or whatever. So he literally picks up every role. We're just gonna start seeing Zac Efron in every oddball.
Yeah, just like a mute guy that's looking for his lost pig.
Yeah.
Wait, is that an actual Nick Cage movie?
Pig, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, he's been in so many movies lately. I don't even. Mike's seen a bunch of them.
Honestly, most of them are not terrible.
No, he's a pretty solid actor.
He is. I'm like, I
gotta be down with crazy movies.
Yes, I think most.
I
of
didn't
them
find that H.P. Lovecraft was in. That wasn't too color or space. That wasn't terrible.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah, that one was all right.
What was he in? Willy's Wonderland or Willy whatever?
Oh, yeah, Willy's. I think that's Willy's Wonderland. That's the one that he plays in.
I was gonna say I think he talks in Pig, but I couldn't remember Because
He
I don't
plays
think he
like
talks that much.
that Willy's Wonderland was basically like Night at the Museum, but like they all just kill like all the animatronic monsters or whatever you want to call it. That movie was okay, but again,
I mean,
he
the
doesn't
premise
talk.
sounds awesome. I watched that
Yeah.
movie.
It's just kind of boring because you're just like watching this dude like do karate with puppets. It's like pretty much the whole movie. So, and it's like Nicolas Cage. So it's a good one to just get like stoned and just laugh at.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that one came out last year, but I don't know. I hope that I hope Zac Efron doesn't pop up in any more horror movies. I don't think anymore.
No, that's what I mean. I'm like, he's good where he is on that side of like making. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like kids movies.
Yeah, he fits the bill on what he's been doing.
What was he in? Neighbors? That was funny. He was good in that.
Although he did all right as Ted Bundy in
Oh yeah,
that wasn't
Dangerous
bad.
or whatever it was called. Yeah.
The movie itself I didn't like love because it was a
No.
little boring. But
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
very boring.
he did good. I felt
That was
like.
more like a court drama.
Right.
Like, and I was just kind of like waiting for like his whole biography, and it was just that was it. Like I was just like,
yeah, it wasn't like yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was kind of disappointing. It wasn't very, especially if you know all the backstory already. Anyway, it's boring.
Yeah,
for sure.
You ever watch like Unsolved Mystery? Which reminds me,
yeah,
she was in Unsolved Mystery. But Matt had a breaking news item earlier today. I don't know to share it with us. It's very near and dear to our hearts here at the Heart.
Yeah, Murder She Wrote's very own Angela Lansbury has died at the age of oh man, she was up there.
96, I think.
96, yeah.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
At the ripe age of 96.
So good thing Kat's not on this episode because we would be hearing all about it.
Yeah, we would have like we'd have a big thing.
When next episode, Kat's not gonna have to talk about Anna.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, so 96, it's a hell of a life. So
yeah, for sure.
She was right on par with the Queen. That's rad.
Don't ever compare her to the Queen.
That's her own. She's her own queen.
She's her own. She's so much better than the Queen.
Queen of her own domain.
Queen of Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch that show?
I mean,
a few episodes. I think when my grandma was watching it, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I remember being like sick as a little kid and just a fever rolling over, and it's just on TV. Yeah,
I had a very good friend in middle school, and that's what we would literally put it on purpose for like sleepovers, and everyone would be like, "What is happening?"
That's I love that.
Like 7th grade, we're like, we have an awesome show to watch, everyone.
Yeah, guys, check this out. Like, look, it's on all night.
Yeah, we're like, it's 6 episodes in a row, so you're in for it.
Buckle up.
Yeah. After that, we're gonna watch Golden Girls.
Yeah.
And,
it's like that Jeffrey Dahmer when he's like standing in front of the TV. He's like, I said we're gonna watch Murder She Wrote, and then you can leave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Except the only difference is you're actually wishing to be killed instead of that. You're like, can you just kill me now?
Well, R.I.P. Angela Lansbury.
She will be missed. Not that I had really ever seen her.
But she was in, what was that movie, Bedknobs and Broomsticks? Did you guys ever watch that?
Oh yeah, I saw that movie.
Don Knotts.
Yeah.
Don Knotts.
Yeah, it was with like they were fish sometimes or something like that.
It was kind of like a Mary Poppins kind of movie, like where it's like half animated, half.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right.
I also get it confused with the Incredible Mr. Limpet. So.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
I think they turn into fish in that one. I don't know about Bedknobs and Broomsticks anymore. But
they turn to fish. A Sword in the Stone. They turn into fish too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fish.
There was a theme, and
then they turn into squirrels too, and it was,
you checking it out yet?
Yeah, I was looking at just who's all the random actors in it. David Tomlin.
It's like an old. It's older.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I forgot about Don Knotts.
What?
Don Knotts.
I just haven't heard. That's just a name I haven't heard in a while. It's like Don Knotts. Oh, we're talking comedies. Okay.
Yeah.
All I can think of is that you ever seen that Family Guy, Matt? It's like Don Knotts, but it's like the Star Wars like cutaway, and he's like one of those weird creatures that they're riding around. And he's like, I don't know what happened here. And it's just like he's like a weird monster. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But just look up like Don Knotts Family Guy. Yeah. They use it. They make which.
What was his like big character? He was like
He was in that. Wasn't he? No.
The Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah, that's what.
He played Barney.
Yep.
Got a lot of TV land going on in my house.
A lot of TV land.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Monsters season.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, the Munsters. Did you guys watch that?
I didn't
No.
see that. Did you?
Did you?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Don't watch it then.
Skip it. No, you know what? It was cool. No, it was cool to see like the characters redone. I don't think Rob Zombie like does a bad job at stuff really. Like I for the most part like is like what he does. It was a cute movie. Like it wasn't scary at all. And also I thought it was a TV show. So like so I'm watching it and then like it's like over and then it
pretty
gets
long.
yeah, but it wasn't that long of a movie. It's not like a 2 hour
Yeah.
movie or anything like that. And it kind of like prequels how the Munsters came to be slash like it's just
Yeah.
cute. Like it's like if you put on the Hocus Pocus, but it was not too great either. Because it was
Yeah, I heard it was pretty
borderline.
wacky.
Weird pick to have Rob Zombie make a waste
Yeah.
of his
I mean,
talent.
I'm pretty sure he did. Like his wife was in it, so I'm like he had to have made
Yeah,
it,
no,
right?
he did make
Okay.
He
it.
definitely
He
did.
wrote
I
it-
just
he
don't know
wrote
why
it
they
and
picked
directed it.
him. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying to do the macabre Adams Family stuff, obviously, and like what the
he-
Munsters was, but like apply it to what currently happens in our time. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't
Yeah.
happening; it was kind of like nowish. So
He's the one that wanted to do it, and he couldn't find anyone to pick it up because they were like, "You want to make what? Like, you want to do the Munsters?"
I feel like he might have gotten more grabs on it if he did make it scary.
Yeah, but then like I feel like people would have been like, "You're ruining
my childhood." Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if a lot of people are gonna say two different. now.
Yeah, true. But
But
yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet. I heard it was really bad.
yeah,
And
it's not
so
that
I
great.
was like, I'll wait until I have like more time to because there's so much stuff that's out right now and coming
Yeah.
out that I'm like, if I'm gonna waste 2 hours, I'd rather the new Halloween or like like something like that. So
No,
I was like, I
and
can
just
watch that. Or,
the way it flowed, I thought it was going to be a TV show, and then I
Yeah.
was like, oh no, this is like a whole movie.
is there like a laugh track in it?
I feel like if I was
should be.
after a little while, I wasn't paying attention, but I'm like, there could have
Yeah.
been, there
Yeah.
might have been a laugh track.
It's just so like few and far between that it comes on.
Yeah.
Like
There
even
might have
even the studio audience doesn't think it's funny.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. It felt like dead air after like what would have been funny things. You know
that
what I mean?
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I
So-
heard. I heard he kind of went on a limb and made it like kind of weird, but I don't know. Eventually, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I've heard that people have been like exactly what you said. They're like, yeah, just straight up, don't even watch it.
Kind of how I feel about
Like,
Hocus Pocus 2 is like, I'm not even gonna watch that movie.
Don't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't like it.
No.
There's people that think that the movie's casting children.
What?
Who are these?
Yeah, like
weird
through
people
the
that
screen.
think that are they Jehovah's Witnesses or like
Something like that, dude. Like hyper
That it
Christians or
puts spells
something.
on your children?
Yeah, they think that it's like real, like witchcraft, and they think
the
that, dude, it's like
Illuminati.
they gotta be like they're probably like a big QAnon.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Conspiracy
that
theory.
sounds
Right.
100% like
Yeah,
that.
but
I feel like
it's wicked funny.
yeah.
And the lady that was talking about it, like the video I watched was hilarious, a news reporter, and like the lady's last name is Gooch, so they just kept referring to her as Gooch. I loved it. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Oh my! So you guys haven't seen it yet? Have you
What?
guys talked about Hocus Pocus 2 at all?
Kat saw it and she
Yeah, she
made
was
Mike
stoked.
watch it, so she talked about it a little bit. And I
Yeah.
just was like, she
Mike
said
wasn't
it was-
very happy about it.
Mike said terrible. She was like, it was all right. It was like
I
I think
think-
one thumb way.
Yeah, I think I don't think they like gave the Sanderson sisters enough time to themselves. The best way I can explain it, like I think if they gave too much focus on like the new character's story, which
Yeah.
could have been a good standalone story, and then like it was weird. I don't know.
They're probably trying to develop the character, make another.
There could honestly, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
For sure. And I personally didn't appreciate it.
The first one I always enjoyed is because it does have the good nostalgia. It's a good like vibe, like Halloween vibe.
Right.
But I mean, anytime you're gonna come in with a sequel 30 years later, you blew it.
Yeah.
Where like why wait that long? Why not just do it in like
I
2000?
think you missed your target audience because
Yeah.
Yeah. They
I mean,
missed
a bunch of people still watched it. It was like the most watched thing ever on Disney Plus.
I feel like they missed a little bit, like they just didn't capture as much of the magic. And I know like
Yeah.
everyone's like, because it's just a sequel and like you're never going to again. And I'm like, I don't know.
They're old.
Like some sequels are really good, but no, this one was just a little weird.
Yeah.
Didn't hit the mark quite as much. It's like you wish that never got a sequel, and there's like a few other ones. Like if they ever do a Beetlejuice sequel, that would be awful. Like I don't think it would be good, right? Like
Yeah, probably not. I know that Gina
it's been
Davis
way too
said she
long.
would do it.
yeah. Same
Alec
thing.
Baldwin's not going to be in it, and we know that.
Right.
So, and Michael Keaton, but
He can still do it.
He can do anything.
Michael Keaton's great. I would be okay with that. If
Batman,
Michael Keaton was in, you could sign.
I know, but I don't like. I don't think Tim Burton would sign off on that ever. First and foremost, no. Like it's not a sequel, so that's good because I think it would just be awful if it was a sequel. One of those like magical kid movies that you remember just being like as good as it could ever get in that one movie.
Is that really a kids movie though?
I watched it as a kid.
I did too, but I mean,
Well,
like,
yeah, but that's a different time period. So
I don't think its target
There's a lot of
audience
things.
necessarily is like kids. It's a pretty creepy movie.
It is.
could
Like,
they maybe do
marry
like
like a 14-year-old
maybe do like a Freddy versus Jason, but it's like versus
Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
Well, Edward Scissorhands is
just
top.
ruined two movies.
Oh, that'd be tough. What is Tim Burton? Does he have anything coming up?
I don't know.
Either
I don't think so.
I thought maybe something, but now I can't remember.
I've actually been meaning to rewatch his Sleepy Hollow ever since we talked about it a few weeks ago.
That movie's so good.
Yeah.
I've probably seen that movie like 10 times.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
I just haven't watched
so
it yet
good.
this year. I'm like, I gotta get on
That one's
Apparently there's a
amazing.
new Dario
does?
Argento movie coming out too, Matt, on Shudder.
Yeah, yes. There was
Really?
actually a secret screening of it on Shudder last Saturday night. Not this past Saturday, I think it's the Saturday before. But yeah, I forget the name of it, but it's about I think it's the one about the blind woman. It's like a giallo.
Dark Glasses.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That'd be
But
interesting.
yeah, so it's a giallo movie, but I guess the lady being followed or trying to evade a killer is blind, so that adds that
So it's
element
like
to it. So
I think it's a Hitchcock movie with Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn's in it. Something about the dark.
Yeah, dude. I think it's called.
Don't shut off the. It's really good.
The one when the guys are trying to smuggle.
Wait until dark.
Yeah,
that movie's really good. I like that.
Yeah,
she's
got. Yeah, and basically the guys are trying to come in there. I think they think that she has drugs or drug money or something, and they're trying to steal it from her without her realizing it. And I think she Home Alones them.
Yeah, she pretty much. She's like slapsticky, like just tripping him over things, and just Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah,
like,
and she's like, "You guys are falling all over the place, and I'm the blind one. Like, how are you guys getting this?"
The original Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, literally. Imagine if that was their whole inspiration for Home Alone. They were just like, "Have you ever seen Wait Until Dark?" Like, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, taking it in a whole different direction. That movie, like, no.
That's on the 100 Scariest Moments. I
have to catch up. I am like two episodes behind. Yeah, I need to get.
That's really good. Do you have Shudder, Hannah?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I did hear about the 100 Scariest Movie Moments, though.
Yeah, it's rad.
Very good.
There is the OG one from like back when we were younger that was on Bravo. That's on YouTube.
I was talking to you about this the last time it was brought up. Like you were the one who told me about it.
It's very possible.
Yeah, like a little while ago. I'm like, this all sounds so familiar.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a broken record.
Between Mike and Matt, I've heard about the 100 Scariest Moments or Bravo's top.
Well, the Bravo one is like that's really good nostalgia. That's on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like one long, like 3-hour video.
Yeah.
And you just crank through it, and I love watching. It. Be so happy.
Right.
It's like but this new
that
one
came out
Shudder
like what 2000?
2004.
2004.
Yeah. So I was only
Just a little baby,
Yeah.
not a baby,
just a boy.
Enough. Just a boy.
But do you have anything on your watch list for the month, Anna?
I'm rewatching Midnight Mass.
Okay. Does that have anything to do with the new show that he just put out, the Midnight Club or whatever it is?
Oh, I actually started watching that too.
Yeah. I guess it's based on a book.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just they pull in some of the same actors again. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah, it's like that, acting troupe.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike Flanagan, that guy's like a horror fucking juggernaut. He just keeps going.
Good.
Yeah. especially with all these miniseries. Like that's like you're making like
Yeah.
4 movies instead of 1. Like
Yeah.
so it's wild.
Yeah, rewatching that. I don't have anything. I'm so bad at knowing what's coming out, so I don't have anything other than like going through and seeing what my TV suggests to me because I
Yeah.
have probably every other streaming service but Shudder. But Midnight Mass I just loved so much and I haven't seen it in a long time, so rewatching that.
I have never seen that. I still haven't seen that.
Oh my god! It's
Yeah,
so
that got like
really good. Yeah.
I think it got nominated, if not won some. What is it called?
yeah, it's so good.
That's right on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I
I
think
have
it's
trouble with TV shows are really tough to get into.
okay. I'll give you a heads up. The first first episode, and then like halfway through the second, you're gonna stick with it.
Yeah,
Just get through it.
Yeah. It might feel a little slow and boring or something, but stick with it. It also feels very like Stephen King-esque.
Yeah.
Like it.
Okay.
You would think
Like
that
Storm of
it's
the Century kind of.
yeah,
like
which
that?
I've been rewatching.
Yeah,
I
on
just
Hulu.
watched that
Yeah,
too.
I watched
Also
it like a
that.
month ago.
Yeah.
I was like, I love that show.
It is reminiscent of that a little bit, and it feels like I think it does take place in New England, and it like fishermen, like it's on an island, like that close knit village, and all that kind of stuff. Irish Catholics, a lot of it.
All the Stephen King things.
Yeah.
Everything Stephen King loves, right there.
Yeah, if you didn't know that it wasn't him, like you could easily think it was.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah, because it doesn't sound bad to me. I'll check that out. Maybe in the winter when I'm anything to watch piled.
I'm waiting for Yellow Jackets to come back on. Have you guys watched that?
Oh yeah, that show's
Only
so good.
don't spoil it for me. I've only watched up to the 3rd or 4th episode because I'm not willing to bend and buy Stars or whatever it's on.
Showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I got like the free subscription, the wait.
I think I'm gonna get it just to finish it because it will only give me up to episode 3.
It's
gets
well worth it.
Really good.
Yeah.
So good.
And that goes that show goes hard. It gets really fucking and season 2 looks pretty fucking off the wall. I'm excited.
That's coming out next year, right?
I mean, if it does, I think it'd be like January or February.
Yeah, it's
it's very soon.
Yeah, because it's been 2 years now. Will it have been 2 years by then?
I don't remember. I think it came out in early 2021.
Yeah, so that'll be 23 early then. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That
Halloween Ends. That comes out next Friday.
Oof.
That comes out in a few days.
Halloween.
So, yeah. I know. I'm waiting. I'm gonna go over to my buddy's house Friday night. I think it's gonna be on Peacock. So
I'm assuming it's a Halloween sequel. So I haven't even heard of it. Yeah.
I think it's the final Halloween based off of that.
Okay. Is Jamie Lee Curtis in it?
Yeah.
Okay. I have seen some stuff about it.
That's this Friday. The
15th.
15th of October. So this will already be out, available.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be watched and reviewed by then.
I'm sure we will be talking about that movie at some based on.
Yeah.
It'll surprise us and be good. There any early? Because
I mean, it'll have to be a pretty good ending. It'd be funny if he takes off the mask and it is just the actor Michael Myers.
People would be so pissed.
But the bit is that they already know that. Like they're not really like shocked by it. Like,
but it's Michael Myers as Dr. Evil though.
Yeah.
As Wayne.
Huge tie-in, yeah.
Wayne.
That'd be good. All right, we got any more thoughts on anything back on Hellraiser? Put a bow on this thing.
I know.
I liked it. I recommend it. If you like the Hellraiser movies,
way up.
I
think
I
you
would
can't go wrong watching it. I think that this could get a newer generation into Hellraiser because I thought it was a pretty good movie. It's just hard to compare it to the other Hellraisers because they're so near and dear to my life. It's tough, but I think they did it. They did it well.
I think so too, and I think and what the first Hellraiser lacks, the being able to like actually understand what's going along with still some mystery behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they explain it a little bit better. Not that I like discredit the first one for not really doing that. That's kind of what dragged me into watching the next one. You know what I mean? I was like, I have to. But so I appreciate that part of it because I think it will. I don't know. It's just not some weird movie to people that won't make any sense. You know what I mean? It will make sense. And it's
I feel like, like you're right. Like, I feel like nowadays it's a lot harder to just have some random movie with no, like they don't really like explain anything. Like in the 80s, I feel like you get away with that. Just be like, what am I watching? This is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
That's one of the weird things I like about the original ones. It's just so weird, and I was like, I don't even know what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if
But
people
I
like
think
that
it's
anymore.
I think it's a positive for this movie, and you're right. I think if for people who've never watched anything Hellraiser related, it's like you could start with this and I think appreciate the series.
Yeah.
I think honestly, it probably would be easier for someone to start with this one and then watch
Yeah.
the other one. And
Yeah.
they would be less
Yeah,
confused, and they would probably appreciate the other ones a lot more.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll put all of them on Hulu, because what they did with Predator when Prey came out, they had all the Predator. So it'd be sick if all the Hellraiser movies conveniently on Hulu.
At least the first put all the.
I know they have a few of them on, if not Hulu, one of them. Because I forget.
I think there's a bunch on Shudder. I know that.
Yeah.
That's where I watched. Is it? No, wait. Maybe it was Hulu. I can't remember. I just watched. It's either and I'm just gonna Tubi, maybe. No, Tubi probably has them, but there wasn't any ads. There wasn't any ads.
I know. I think it is Hulu. Maybe I can't log into mine right now to check it out, but you can watch them somewhere. I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely. You can rent them for like $2 a piece or
Mhm.
whatever if you have to. No. But then again, there's 10 of them, so I mean,
$20 to watch.
you do the math.
You do the math. I don't want to do the math. Well,
All right.
Hannah, it was a pleasure having you on. As
Thanks.
always, I'm glad we could talk about Hellraiser again.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, pleasure as always, bud.
Sure.
So, real quick, just so you guys know, if you enjoyed our podcast, or if you've listened to it before, feel free to subscribe to the podcast. You can find us anywhere you listen to your podcast: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spreaker, pretty much anywhere else. My name's Andrew. Thanks again, Matt. Thanks again, Hannah. Mike, Kat, thinking about you. We love you guys. We will see you next week. Good evening.
Good evening.
Does you guys have a sign off?
Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and just wanted to say thank you again for listening to another episode of our show, because of course, we would be nothing without you listeners.